Good afternoon and happy Friday. Hope you guys had an awesome day out there today. It was an okay day, but I feel like I left a lot of money on the table because I'm not used to the market being hot again. So I want to talk about it here with you. Break down what I did today, how I caught it today. There was really only one stock that was obvious today, and that was IRBT. And it was kind of a weird Friday, to be honest with you. Now, looking back at some of these from today, we went into the open and I was watching three primary stocks. I was watching JFBR, TDIC, and Toro. Those are our three most obvious stocks going into the open. Now, we had a few things happen, and of course, you look over at JFBR today, and this actually broke to the backside before the bell, so I just didn't watch it at all. You can see here, this looked pretty good going into market open. You had this ascending channel that I was going to try to play off of if it did confirm for the leg back higher, but of course, it did break down, so it didn't mess with this. And then, of course, you look over at Toro, and I was actually able to play this one quite well. It was kind of weird and it looked really good. So I hate that it did look so weird because we have this heavy area of supply form from pre-market and then aftermarket open where you have this big range putting off the highs. Now, that's awesome because on the breakout, we have a defined level of risk if it does confirm off this pivot. And so price breaks out. We get this massive 1 minute extension through highs. I take a pullback, looking for the quick extension through that high, and I get a move here from 550 back to about 560 where I take a full exit. You can see here. Because price, I just saw it was hesitating, and I saw we had about a 5 or 6 cent spread after it began to hesitate. I'm like, all right, this is not my cup of tea. We have a 5 or 6 cent spread. That's kind of gross. And now, what's so weird about this is this has an 11 million share float, but it had a 5 cent spread pretty much all morning. I don't know what it was about it, but it was just disgusting the way it was trading. And so it pulls back aggressively off these past highs. I nail an entry at the 90 MA. And I do actually capture a pretty nice move here. As you can see, I played it here from 543 back to 560s to lock in a nice win. And so this simple little entry here took it off the past low, risking off the 90 MA for the leg back up to the highs. Couldn't be any happier. So all nice there. So I have a small win here and I have a nice win here on Toro. All good. And then, of course, I didn't touch it anywhere through here because that spread was just insane. And price action is just not readable, not predictable. It's a shame because this would have been an amazing setup, and had I had more volume, this could have easily gotten squeezing in a big way right here, but it just didn't have enough volume to take it up today. Right now, today, it's only traded a fairly insignificant amount of volume. I think right now it's traded about 10 million shares, give or take. So considering the size of its float, it hasn't really rotated at once. Past that, we were watching IRBT. This was from last night's free watch list, and I said I wanted to watch it over 306 today, which happened in pre-market. So then after that, of course, I'm stuck playing it higher because going into the open, this thing was way up into the 380s. And I knew based on the daily time frame that we had significant range here. If we look over here, we had range today on Toro all the way up into the fives. And so we actually had room. If you look on back here, we had room to right about 530. Then past that, you can see we have 6, and then we have room to about 650. So we had a decent setup here. As you can see, I'll get over to this chart on IRBT. And it was okay at first, but that's sort of where the line is drawn. So we've got the highs here from pre-market, which I'm able to take a perfect entry here off of. Look at this. So this puts in place a beautiful setup. This is a picture perfect A+ opportunity. It does not get any better than this. This thing was amazing. Look at this. I'll even make this bigger so you can actually see it a little bit better. So we have these higher highs stuck here going into market open. And of course, this gets squeezing higher to 4. I'm looking for a 1 minute pullback off the 90 MA to ride this higher. And I get a nice move here. As you can see, I played it from 388. Of course, I was risking off the bottom of that candle right back here off the 9 at about 385. And I captured a move here all the way to about 416. But here's where I'm a little bit upset. You know, what happens here is I take a full profit because it looks like it starts to hesitate over the highs. And I'm so used to the cold market from the last 2 months that I'm still trading like a little sissy. I'm still just trading like a little sissy. And so today, again, took profits a little bit quickly on this too soon and left a whole lot of money on the table, where this thing actually made about $1 a share move. And per my system that I would typically stick to in a hotter market, it never broke a 1 minute low a single time. Never broke a 1 minute low a single time. Look at this. Never a single time. And so in using that strategy, would have been able to capitalize on the entire move here. So that's where the frustration is rooted. But anyways, so I got some good profit here, really tight. I had 5,000 shares on the play. And so was able to do something decent. But this is where it gets a little bit tricky and where I'm just a little bit irritated with the day. So if I pull up the other chart here, I'll show you on the 5 minute time. Or I'll just show you on this one. This is fine. If I show you here on the 5 minute or 3 minute time frame, I can even show you here. It might look a little bit cleaner. You can sort of begin to see what I was looking for here. Now, price extends higher, and it's respected the 9 EMA all stinking morning. Look at this. It's respected the 9 all morning, all morning, all morning, all morning, all morning. All right, so then price breaks higher and, of course, test off of 5. We pull back, and price puts in place this doji. And I'm like, all right, so price beginning to hesitate on the pullbacks. Then you have this big hammer put in here, and I'm like, wow, looks really freaking good. So I keep on taking pullbacks. You see the pullback entry here. I'm looking to see if this wants to get breaking higher because, dude, look how good this looks. You have the doji here, which again shows that indecision. Then we have this big topping or bottoming tail off the lows here, signaling that reversal back to the upside. Well, this just doesn't get going. And so this is actually where my frustration is rooted from today. I traded it very well. I took the opportunity that I needed to take. And of course, even like I said on stream this morning, I was only risking a half of the profit that I got on this trade here just to make sure I didn't give back everything. And so, what I had to do, I did what I could do. And that's really all you could do. And even looking at this, I flip over to a 1-minute time frame you can see here as well. And again, I kept trying to take those pullbacks because it kept on putting in place that confirmed bottom. I'm like, man, that looks so good. But then it breaks down. I have to take a loss on it. Then I take a small win on it after it, again, puts in this bottom off of VWAP. Take another one here. So this right here is where that frustration comes from because I had so much conviction right here. It looks so good. And I just didn't get that leg higher. So I left some money on the table here today. I'm still getting sort of accustomed to the hotter market, so I did leave some profit on the table here. It is what it is. As things do continue to make these moves in our favor, it'll be a lot easier to hold things through their chop, through their turbulence, and that's when things will get a whole lot better as well. I also had a little bit of a win on TWNP, but this thing was, look how nasty this move was. So same thing here. You put in place this higher low, really, really wedge here. It tries to get squeezing on the breakout here, and guess what? It instantly rejects, so I take a small profit. Again, it is what it is. It looked good. It made the move earlier this morning, or later this morning, go figure. But in the actual setup here that looked really, really good, I just couldn't get the move. It's just a strange. We only really had the one thing on IRBT, and it was just kind of a turd, really. The way that it traded, the way that it followed through. You didn't get that resolution higher, didn't get that X extension out of the 5-minute flag. So it is what it is. Also had a nice trade this morning on WHLR, as you can see here, in pre-market back here at 8:03 this morning from 580 all the way to 695. So, some good stuff in pre-market with the alerts as well. But just a weird Friday, nice green week. Monday we crushed it, Tuesday crushed it, Wednesday crushed it, yesterday was pretty good, but also had a little bit of a choppier setup with the 1-minute chart. But even then, it did do pretty well yesterday. And then, of course, today we had IRBT, and that was really it. So kind of a weird day. Some stuff had some red flags out there. I did what I could, had to do. And all in all, just ready to get to the next week as things continue to heat up. Exciting December ahead of us here, and I'm ready to take advantage of it. So as always, if you did learn a thing or two from this video, make sure to subscribe for daily content just like this. Go down to the description below, claim your 7-day free trial to watch me trade stocks just like these every single day in real time and get alerts, education, watch list, chat room scanners, news, journals, and so much more. And that was a mouthful, but let me know in the comments below how you did today, and I will see you there.